If stuff hits the fan in winter, are you ready? Okay. Coveralls, waterproof, insulated. You're going to need these if the power goes out and you have no way to get heat in your house, your apartment. Think about it. And why would I get camouflage instead of one of these other pretty colors? Well, look at your surrounding. Do you live in the woods, near the woods? If you live in the south, you got, pine trees everywhere. You might want to blend in, especially during winter. It's going to be a little bit, how gray it gets out, brown. You're going to want some nice warm boots. You're going to want them waterproof and insulated. All armies have figured out through the centuries that if you don't keep your feet warm and dry, you're going to die. And gloves, you don't keep your hands warm, you ain't going to be doing much except for sitting next to a fire, if you're lucky, trying to keep those warm. A tent that you can actually put a wood stove in. This will hold 6 people, and you can buy a portable wood stove and put it in there. This is a 4-season tent. There's a wood stove, and what this wood stove does is it has a stackable. See that right there? You can stack. It's the 2 things in there where you can go increase the size of the chimney so you can get it outside of your tent. Keep your feet warm and dry. Insulated socks. This is a good item for anybody. And I would buy a few extra cartridges. You know why I would buy a few extra cartridges? Because when stuff hits the fan scenario, this is not for radiation, and I don't think you're going to need one for radiation. If you get in a radiated area and there's a nuclear bomb go off, you just need to get the heck away from it as far as you can and watch the winds, because you're going to need all kinds of suits and stuff. You're better off in the ground for a while. But if you have like a volcano go off, and you got all that ash cloud, you need to get out of there and you need to walk out of there, well, you're going to need this. This will allow you to breathe. You won't get that stuff in your lungs. Most of you, I hope you know that volcanic ash is like glass. And when it mixes with water, it gets in your lungs, and then all of a sudden you got glass in your lungs. Guess what? You're not going to be breathing. You're going to die. Now, these say that these are good for 12 to 24 hours, depending on the filter. But if you're walking through volcanic ash, trying to get out of town, clear of the volcano plume of ash, they're good for about an hour before these things clog up, or less. So you might want to buy a few extra filters to go with your Israeli-style mask. You're going to want this. This is a portable sleeping bag. It's very lightweight. They're very small. And it's a 3 to 4 season camping, hiking, traveling. You're going to need one of these. This will keep you nice and warm when you're laying in your tent, if you have a tent. If not, it'll keep you nice and dry when you have to lay on the stupid ground. Make sure you take some, if you got the bug out in the middle of the forest, people, I can tell you one thing right now. If you got nothing else, pine needles make a good insulator for the ground. They're not as comfortable as they can be, but, and you got to be careful not to poke holes and stuff with the pine needles. But that's one way to keep yourself off the ground, keep yourself a little warmer. If you're laying on the ground directly, you're going to get cold. Just a little experience. I've been some camping in my life. A camping set. There you go. This thing's real small, fits in a bag, and it can hang off the back of your bug out bag. You might want rain ponchos. These are very small. You can stick them in your bug out bag. You get a couple of them, keep you nice and dry from the rain. Paracord. You're going to need this stuff. $15, you can get all this crap. Okay? You're going to need it for a lot of stuff. For making shelters, for, just tying up meat. I mean, you might need to string some fish up. Put a line across two trees and hang your fish that you caught on this. Keep the animals from eating it. Bug out bag. You're going to need a good bag. This one's a good one. It's only $30, people. I bought one of these. Okay? You can get them in different colors, but I would, if I were you, try to match what you have for your coveralls, for insulated coveralls. Now, what kills most people when stuff hits the fan? Lack of clean drinking water and disease. Water is going to be your number one priority to have good, clean drinking water. If you don't, you're going to get sick in a week or two, and you'll be dead, whether you bug out or bug in. Just a little wise, so get some purification tablets. Fire starters. These are magnesium fire starters. You're going to have to strike them pretty hard. What you do is use this little, why do you do that? You need to use this right here is what you use to strike against this rod. You got to strike it real hard to get some sparks out of it. But the one thing I like about this one though is it has a compass. Okay, so you can tell where you're going. So it's a 2-in-1 deal. So if you need a compass to know which direction you're going, if you don't know how the sun works and how to follow the sun. Now, if there's a pole shift, magnetic pole shift, these might become useless until you figure out that south is really north. You're going to need yourself a real good knife. There you go right there. You can do just about anything with this, including self-defense. I have some of these. They're really nice. I like these chef welds. Now this is a mossy, but it's about the same thing as my chef weld. See that point? Nobody can argue with you when you have that on you. If they do, they're idiots. Clean drinking water. Now, why do I like Sawyer? Because the Sawyer has a bag that you can attach to this so that you can actually put a bag on it. But you can also, on this one right here, you can also put a regular water bottle, those little drinking water bottles on there. And it beats the hell out of putting that straw on and then laying down in front of some pond or stream to actually draw the water out. You can just put you can use this pouch right here, the squeeze pouch, or you can use the just a regular water bottle, drinking water bottle that you buy at the store. They attaches to it too. By the way, see this cleaning plunger? Little cleaning plunger right here, that is to clean out your filter so you can use it. And this has a high capacity of filter rate up to 100,000 gallons. You're going to need a shovel. Eventually you're going to have to dig something up, like a pit or a hole for your buddy that just didn't make it. You're going to need something that can saw. You see that edges on there? You can saw with this. It's a very useful item, and it goes in this little bag right here, and you can attach it to your bug out bag. Weight's going to be very important when your bug out bag. You think you're going to haul 60 pounds worth of crap for miles? I doubt most of you could haul 20. You're not a Marine. You haven't had a 100-pound, 120-pound pack on your back and had to hike 25 miles with it. You'd be lucky to haul half of that if you're a monster, because most of us are not in shape. You're going to want yourself a nice little portable wood stove for cooking and everything else. It's great to have a propane stove that fits in your bag with your cooking stuff. Now you're thinking, I got to buy all this stuff right now. I'm going to freak out. No. Pick up stuff as you can afford it, but prioritize what you think is going to be the most important thing. Do you know what I think is the most important thing? Numeral item 1 that I just showed you. If you're in the middle of winter and the heat goes out, power goes out for good, you're going to want something to keep you warm. That's going to be that right there. That's number 1 item on my list that I would get. Let me tell you what the first thing you really need. You need self-defense. You need a knife or a weapon of some type. I'm not going to say bang bang, but you know what I'm talking about. And lots of ammo for the bang bang. And speaking of that, you're going to need something to chop firewood with, and this is also a self-defense item. So this has a dual, triple purpose. And you'll notice right here, look at that. It's got a compass on it. Got a compass. Right there. See that compass? That's nice to have, don't you think? Yeah, and it's got a sheath and everything so you can carry it. Okay, comes in a little bag. Attach that to your bug out bag. You're going to need an axe out in the woods if you have to bug out. You're going to need an axe if you have to chop firewood around the house. How many of you have an axe laying around somewhere? I mean, I probably got about 6 or 7 of them. See the saw blade on it? See the fire starter? How can you beat this? You can't. You just can't beat this. It's got a fire starter stick. It's got a little saw on it. It's got a compass. This is one handy little item. Now, this is one of my favorites. These are magnesium bags of fire starter magnesiums, and they're really lightweight, and you can just throw a little bit on there, use your lighter or whatever you want to, it'll just start that fire right up, even if it's kind of soggy and wet on the wood, it'll get it going for you. Because that fire starter stick may not do it for you, may not get that fire started for you when you might have to work real hard. But these right here, sprinkle a little magnesium on there, and this will start a fire like crazy, and it'll burn real good for you. Well, that's the tour of stuff that you should have if stuff does hit the fan in the wintertime, especially if you live up north. Because I'm going to say one thing. Oh, I've got a wood stove and I'm going to burn that and keep myself nice and warm in my house. Yeah, well, people that don't have wood stoves, guess what? They're going to smell your fire. And they're going to want that wood stove. So you're going to have people in droves kicking your door in, if you don't let them in, that want to keep warm during the wintertime. Let me tell you something about the first 3 to 6 months of stuff hits fan. And when you have a total collapse like that, it's the middle of winter. You want to have some portable heaters, small. But these are safe indoor propane heaters. They use those little Coleman 1 gallon propane cans. You could also buy an adapter to hook it up to a 15 to 20 gallon propane bottle, but keep in mind that you have to actually put the propane bottle outside in that case. In this case, you can use a little 1 gallon propane from Coleman stoves. I think you've all seen those things. This is what I'm talking about. You guys see what I'm saying? These just screw straight into the Mr. Heater. Now, if it's wintertime and you got a wood stove, that's great and everything, but guess what? I guarantee you, if you burn that damn wood stove, and there's lots of cold people out there in the middle of winter looking for a warm place, they're going to be at your door. The way that you survive when stuff hits the fan is you have to be stealth and you have to be invisible. You don't need to be taking your cans and throwing them out in your garbage can after you just ate a bunch of canned food and your neighbors are sitting there 2 weeks later and they haven't got shit on their shelves. They're starving to death. That's not going to be very wise. You might want to take it out at night and bury it in the backyard with the shovel that you're supposed to buy, right? Get yourself a little pit. But you want to keep yourself warm. You're probably going to want to burn this during the nighttime. If the daytime you get away with just wearing your insulated coveralls, be a good idea. It may be colder than crap in the house, but you wear your coveralls inside to keep you nice and warm. And at night, you might want to use the little heater buddy and conserve your fuel because, you're only going to have a limited amount of propane to use during the wintertime. And this is like $6 for a couple gallons of this stuff, or 16 ounces, It's a 16-ounce bottle, but it's basically a gallon. And you can get an adapter to fill these automatically. But I guarantee you, they're going to come ask for your food. They're going to want to eat your food. They're going to be hungry. Most people don't have even a week's or 2 weeks worth of food in their house. You need to have at least 2 years worth of food. And the most important thing is that when stuff does hit the fan like this, it's a total collapse and all the power goes out, the grid goes down, nobody's delivering gas, nobody's delivering propane. Basically, you're going to need something warm to wear, something to keep you warm. You're going to have to conserve your fuel because you probably want to burn this only at night if you get too cold. You're going to have to learn to live in a colder environment. If you fire up that wood fireplace within for the first 3 to 6 months, if stuff hits the fan and it's a major collapse and people are freezing, you're going to have people kicking your door in. They're going to beg, and then they're going to demand, then you're just going to take it. So you might want to find yourself some people to hang with during a situation like this. And if you find people that have skills that you're going to need down the road that you can trade with, you might want to form a little group with them. But I'm going to tell you one thing right now. The first couple of weeks when stuff hits the fan, yeah, you might be able to use that fireplace, but then everybody will know you got one that works. And after the first couple of weeks, they figure out that power's not coming back on and everything else is not going to work. They're going to come big. Then they're going to demand. And then they're just going to kick your damn door down and take what they want. Your place with the nice warm fire. And, I could see that scenario being repeated over and over again. Somebody will come kick their door in after they took it from you. Be smart, be stealth, be invisible